fact, Dr. Pepper Championship Week. This is the American Athletic Conference Championship. Top 20 showdown, Memphis against UCF, presented on ABC by K Jewelers. And when UCF makes its way out of the locker room, they'll take the field for the 12th time this season. The first 11 resulting in victories. At stake for the Knights Tigers, well, only a championship and a likely potential bid to the Peach Bowl. And the hometown Knights are on their way out. Nothing neutral sight about this championship game. With that, we say good afternoon. Happy Championship Saturday. Along with Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy-Pitty, the scoreboard operator. There'll be a lot of points today. So much on the line, so many stories with both, but not to be swept under the carpet, the fact that a championship will be awarded today, Greasy.
Yeah, both of these teams, especially UCF, would love to be in that Final Four conversation of the college football playoff. It doesn't look like that's going to happen this year, but championships matter in college football. We overlook that too much sometimes. Today is a huge game for these players. I'm interested to see how UCF responds after an emotional game a week ago against USF. Maybe in the game of the year in college football, there might be some nerves when you put a championship trophy at the 50-yard line today.
That was something special. Everyone raving about the most recent edition of the war on I-4. And I don't care, Group of 5, Power 5, the Jackson 5. These two teams are the top-scoring teams in the whole country.
Absolutely, and with UCF, it starts with speed. There has not been a defense that has contained this offense all year. Starts with McKenzie Milton. He's more of a point guard than he is a down-the-field thrower. He's got to get the ball in the hands of his two playmakers, in my opinion. Traquan Smith, wide receiver, and then Adrian Killen. Might be the fastest player in all of college football. Expect some fireworks today.
2 months ago, Memphis was right here, and Todd McShay, they only scored 13 points. Why should it be different today?
First of all, Steve, they're healthier. Secondly, they've been rolling on offense since, scoring more than 50 points per game. Now, the big key, I think, is the quarterback-wide receiver tandem of Riley Ferguson and Anthony Miller. They have such a good rapport, these two. The last couple of years, Miller's been the go-to guy. Ferguson doesn't have the biggest arm, but does a great job of getting the ball out on time. And I think a big deal today is they've got to get Miller the ball in space. Only 3 catches the last time these two teams played. But make no mistake, this is one of the most explosive tandems in the country. In fact, the last 2 years, no receiver-quarterback tandem has accounted for more touchdowns than Ferguson and Miller. That includes Oklahoma State's Mason Rudolph and James Washington. So they're going to have to be big today.
Memphis' only loss all season coming right here to these Knights. All the talk this week around college football has been the coaching. Scott Frost, is he saying hello or is he saying goodbye? All Memphis did last week was score 70 points. Hammered East Carolina to the tune of 70-13. Therefore, we have the top 2 scoring offenses in all of America. We expect points aplenty and a championship to be awarded today. Memphis has won the toss. There'll be no deferring today, Grease. Everybody wants the football in this game.
Absolutely.
Matthew Wright will kick it away. Darrell Henderson will look to return it. It was a short kick, and Henderson swung around, and he'll be dropped at the 17-yard line. And that's where the Tigers will take over. And their quarterback, Riley Ferguson. Ferguson leads the conference in passing yardage per game, second in the conference in passing efficiency, and he is the driver of this Tigers offense.
64 touchdowns he's been responsible for in the last 2 years for these Memphis Tigers. But, Steve, the first game earlier this year, he threw 3 interceptions against UCF. He has got to play better for Memphis to have a chance today.
Again, only 8 interceptions all season, 3 of them coming right here in this stadium against the defense he's about to face. And on first down, handoff to Henderson. So he returns the kick, and he's able to run forward for 5.
On the matchup today we're watching is the wide receiver Anthony Miller versus Mike Hughes, number 19, the cornerback. He held Miller to just 3 catches the last time these two teams met. Got to get a lot more production out of Miller if you're Memphis. Hughes is great in man-to-man press coverage. He's physical. He pushed Miller around a little bit last time, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Gain of 6 on first down. On second, Ferguson to throw off for Henderson. He's got the first down and plenty more. It's the Darrell Henderson show early. He's brought down by Trey Neal. They'll move the sticks to gain of 20.
A great job by this Memphis offensive line on the slow screen. Dustin Woodard, the left guard, and Kaiser, the center, both get out, both get blocks. One on the corner and one on the linebacker, and that frees Henderson.
First down and 10 approaching midfield. Quick throw. Able to hit Tony Pollard, and he's got first down yardage. Pollard is the man they want to get the ball into his hands as often as possible. He's explosive. He's like an H-back. He plays that running back / slot receiver position for this Memphis offense. He's also the ace special teams player. He's been back-to-back years in the American Conference for Special Teams Player of the Year. Yeah. Do not go to the fridge for kickoffs in this game, people. Across midfield now. Handoff. Henderson, and that's our shortest game so far. Picks up a couple. Titus Davis made the stop for UCF.
You know, this Memphis offense did not play their best game. In fact, Mike Norvell, their coach, said they played their worst game since he's been at Memphis in this game in September against UCF. But since then, Steve, look at the numbers. 53, almost 54 points a game in the last 7.
That ball is out and loose. And it's recovered. Let's see. Not to say they have it, they do. It's Shaquem Griffin, who's always around the football.
We got to make sure that this was, if it was forward, it would have been an incomplete pass. That looks like it was backward, which would be a fumble. Henderson trying to do his best to get on that ball. Look at the effort of Shaquem Griffin. He comes from all the way inside of his outside linebacker spot. It's hustle with 18. Everybody talks about the unbelievable story of him not having that left hand. And that's an unbelievable story, unbelievable effort from him. And I see on film every week, and this is all effort. He gets in there and rips that ball away from Henderson.
And it's worth repeating because people say, wait, what did Greasy just say? The kid with no left hand just recovered a fumble. Plenty of time for McKenzie Milton. Now running and throwing. And might have been really throwing that away. McKenzie Miller, the outstanding sophomore quarterback from Hawaii.
He's really the trigger man in this offense. You know, he met Scott Frost at the University of Oregon, went to a quarterback camp there, and Scott felt like he was the best quarterback in the whole camp and decided to come to UCF and follow Scott Frost, and he has not disappointed.
2nd and 15, Milton's going to run it. Make a couple people miss, and he's across midfield. And bring up a 3rd and short. Jannard Avery made the tackle. More matchups for Todd McShay.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the running back position. Adrian Killens, number 9. It's like a pint-sized Usain Bolt. I don't know if there's a faster running back in all of college football. So explosive, going up against Jannard Avery, who is moved around positions. He's going to play a big role. This whole Memphis defense, including Avery, have to do a great job of tackling in space, because if he breaks a tackle, Killens, he's gone.
Sounds like Avery will be chasing him all up and down the field today. Here's 3rd down and 3. Good protection, and the throw able to complete to Traquan Smith, who's got first down yardage.
One of the things I love about Scott Frost and his offense is he will tailor it to the skills that he has. And he has a quarterback that can scan the whole field, Steve. He's not just relegated to reading half the field.
Going fast here. Milton out of the flat to Dredrick Snelson. He stays on his feet. Give you an extra effort there for the first down. Looks like championship effort right there.
Absolutely. These two teams know exactly what is on the line here. Everybody this week has been talking about the coaches. Where are the coaches going to end up? But these players, make no mistake, you don't very often get a chance to play for a championship. Both of these teams for the first time in this championship game in the American, and they're playing with all kind of effort.
Memphis is playing in its first ever championship game of any kind here today. And they've been playing football since 1912. Here's Milton. Found a soft spot in the defense. It's Snelson again. Snelson to the end zone. There's our first touchdown of the afternoon. 24 yards. Milton to Dredrick Snelson.
This has been the recipe and the formula for UCF all season long. Force a turnover on defense, and then the pace and the speed of this offense with which they call plays, run plays, and then those speed players at the skill positions, they score a lot of points.
Get a lot of touchdowns, get a lot of extra points. There's Matthew Wright, puts it through.
Tried to isolate Snelson one-on-one. He's going to go out. It's just a little double move. He comes back on the inside. Look at the anticipation from McKenzie, Milton, and Snelson with the effort. Finishes it.
The Knights now #1 of the country in turnover margin, thanks to the latest one. 7-0 UCF. The Memphis football program went nearly 20 years without a kick return for a touchdown. Enter Tony Pollard. There's a local jeweler in Memphis, Robert Irwin Jewelers. They ran this promotion. Buy anything you want in the store, and if Memphis gets a kick return for a touchdown, you get your money back. Get it all for free. A lot of happy customers. Unhappy special teams coordinators playing against him. So Pollard, they'll try to kick it away from him. Anthony Miller able to make that return. Good start. Well, Normal had a lot more to work with coming in. He didn't have to turn an entire program around. There's Pollard, and again, they're going to get the ball in his hands any way they can. If you're not going to kick to him, they got to find a different way.
Absolutely. He's got to be a big part of the impact on this game. But I think a big key for Memphis offensively is can they run the football. That's been a big difference for them in the last 2 games. They've averaged over 300 yards rushing. In the first game against UCF, they only had 50.
Keep it on the ground. This time it's Patrick Taylor, nothing doing. 3rd and long. Shaquem Griffin made a stop again.
Bring him off the edge. Get him involved in the backfield. He's such a fast player, so instinctful. Got to account for him in 3rd down pass rush situations as well.
He said he started out, his coaches told him, just run as fast as you can. The technique came a little later. 3rd down and 8.
Man-to-man coverage. I'd find Anthony Miller.
Here's Ferguson. Checks it down to Taylor. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more. Excellent defense by the Knights and Shaquan Burkett.
You know, we thought coming into this game it's just going to be a scoring fest. Who can score the most points? But we know college football is about defense as much as it is about offense. And this UCF defense has been completely overlooked. But in the last month of the season, they're playing excellent football. We mentioned taking the football away, but they're only giving up 22 points a game. It's outstanding.
Here's the punt. Mike Hughes is back for it. He'll let it bounce. Hughes had the big 95-yard kick return a week ago with the final 90 seconds to win the game. After the Spencer Smith 55-yard punt, it's Traquan Smith. And he has 1st down yardage. So they back up the Knights. There's no problem. Todd, what about the NFL?
He's going to get drafted. I have no doubt about it. He's going to be a day 3 pick. Yes, there are minor concerns, but listen, what he's done and how instinctive he is in his ability to get after the quarterback. This guy's always around the football. Plus, he'll do a great job covering kicks in the NFL.
Of course, his twin brother is already in the NFL with Seattle. Otis Anderson ripping off huge yardage, and he is just slowed up enough before he is dropped at the 18-yard line. Otis Anderson, the true freshman from Jacksonville, rips off 62.
Great block here. Watch the right tackle. That's Wyatt Miller. Comes up and gets the linebacker. They seal it off. Explosive play from UCF right up the middle.
They are right back in business. It's Anderson again. He'll try the right side on for size. And he'll lower the shoulder. And got lower than Jonathan Cook did. 2nd down.
You know, we talk so much about Adrian Killens, and rightfully so, with his impact on this offense. But Otis Anderson, as a true freshman, only 5'11", 165 pounds, has an impact as well.
2nd and short. Here's Anderson. Won't get there. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and a couple.
And how nice is it for Scott Frost to go back and forth with these 2 guys, Killens and Anderson. We talked with him yesterday about Anthony Thomas and Kenyon Barner, and this is the role that these 2 guys are playing in this offense. He's brought that Oregon style, fast tempo, spread you horizontally, And when you spread them horizontally, sometimes you create those creases in the middle of the field like we saw there for Anderson.
That was some crease. A crease worth 62 yards. UCF on 3rd down and 2. Hand off to Killens, and he'll take a loss. Curtis Akins comes up with a big stop. The weak side linebacker for the Tigers, 4th down. These teams don't kick a lot of field goals because they score a lot of touchdowns.
No, but Memphis, you're going to give up some chunk plays. You know that coming in. But when you get in the red zone, that's the money time. Last game they played, we mentioned it. They were not very good in the red zone. They turned the ball over 3 times. Today, a big factor in this game defensively for them. Can they get the stops and force these field goal attempts?
Here's Matthew Wright from 31 yards away. He's only attempted 12 field goals all season. And number 13 is a work of beauty. Perfect. 2 offensive touches so far for the Knights. Both leading to points. Otis Anderson leading the way. 62 yards for number 26. Scott Frost is Nebraska through and through. Born in Wood River, Nebraska. Attended Wood River High School. Chose Stanford right out of high school to be coached by Bill Walsh, but he returned home, helped lead the Huskers to a part of a national championship in 1997. And Nebraska's never too far from his mind. And that's something he has not been able to get away from ever since Nebraska made their coaching change. Anthony Miller, not Tony Pollard again. Up the side, out to the 25-yard line. They've got 2 tight ends in there now. Patrick Taylor is the setback. And Taylor will try to carry it. They'll stumble forward for a couple. You know, we talk so much about the UCF offense. Have to be impressed by the defense here.
Well, the guys that have really gotten better are up front for UCF. The 3 down linemen, number 5, Jemias Pittman, Tristan Hill, and Tony Garrard. All of them over 300 pounds. Those are the guys that have to establish a line of scrimmage in this game.
2nd down and 8. Ball spotted at the 36. Taylor, the lone setback behind Riley Ferguson. And they'll give it to Taylor. Got a crease, got the 1st down, and plenty more. Here's Patrick Taylor trying to run away from people. He stopped at the 25 by Trey Neal after the big game of 38.
Great blocking up front by Trevin Tate, the left tackle, 72. You see he gets Garrard there. And then you get Anthony Miller with the block in the secondary, which frees up Taylor for a big one.
4 wide receivers in a diamond lineup at the bottom of your screen there. And Ferguson trying to scramble out of some trouble. Picks up a couple.
UCF's playing a lot of man coverage. And if they play man coverage, you got to find Anthony Miller. But the problem is, as Todd mentioned right at the outset, one of the best corners in college football playing man-to-man is Mike Hughes. And Miller has not been able to get free so far in this game going up against Hughes.
2nd down and 9. Everybody talks about Miller. Don't sleep on Phil Mayhew either. Another excellent wide receiver, 6'3", 210 senior from New Jersey. Here's Henderson. Got the 1st down. And inside the 10-yard line. Here come the Tigers.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need to do. Big runs on 1st down. You got to establish that line of scrimmage. This offensive line, I think, is probably the most improved part of this team from Memphis. You got 2 All-American Conference players in left tackle Tate and the right guard Gabe Kuhn, who's starting his 50th game in his Memphis career. That's more than anybody in Memphis history.
Not much closer they can push him. They got a fullback in who's actually a defensive lineman. And the handoff to Patrick Taylor for the touchdown. And the Tigers are on the board. Behind the blocking of defensive lineman Joseph Dorius.
Yeah, and they were fortunate here. It looked like Riley Ferguson almost got stepped on. Take a look at his right foot. When he tries to get away from center, that's Kuhn. Steps right on top of him, so he's falling down. In that situation, you're helpless. You got to secure the football. If you can get it to the back, great job. Averted the turnover.
Dorcius, the defensive lineman, actually has a brother who is a running back on the team. Dorland Dorcius, who is traveling with the team but is out injured. Riley Patterson puts it through. And the points start to pile up.
Told you you're going to need to, warm up the vocal cords. You're going to make a lot of touchdown calls today.
Back in Orlando, the American Athletic Championship. UCF with a 10-7 lead, and the Tigers scoring a touchdown to close the gap. On their first possession, they turned it over, gave the Knights a short field. That led to UCF's first score of the game.
We've seen that UCF's not going to kick to Tony Pollard, but UCF has their own kick returner, Mike Hughes. We'll see if Memphis decides not to kick. Exactly.
And again, a short kick, only to the 14-yard line. And bring it out to the 26. They were supposed to play each other on September the 8th. It got rescheduled to September the 30th. Here's Milton. Down the sideline. It's caught by Akins again. Took the contact, made the play. Jordan Akins, the former professional baseball player, the gain of 20.
Akins doesn't get a whole lot of attention on this offense, but at 6'4", 262 pounds, he's a force in the run game, and he is definitely capable down the field. That's his 27th catch on the season with 3 touchdowns.
Played in the Texas Rangers farm system. Here's Milton, lofting one. It's Akins again. And it might as well be a home run for Jordan Akins. Touchdown, UCF.
You've got to respect the perimeter against UCF. And when you have to respect the perimeter, you leave one-on-one coverage on the tight end. And that's Josh Perry, the safety. Look at the anticipation of this throw, the touch. McKenzie Milton doesn't have the strongest arm in college football, but he does have anticipation and touch throwing the football. He couldn't have done it any better here at Akins.
Josh Perry could not keep up with the big fella. Extra point is on the way and through. 48-yard scoring strike.
In this first quarter, UCF 17, Memphis 7.
17-7 is the score. Still got 90 seconds left in this first quarter.
At the 11, it'll be first down and 10 for the Tigers.
When you're stuck in 0-12, you're thinking you're never going to win a game, right? You're thinking, wow, how do we get around this? They'll try to squeeze out one more play with these offenses. Why not? Little free football down the middle of the field. Able to hook up with Sean Dykes.
Oh, man. UCF wasn't ready there, Leaves.
Well, they thought the quarter was over.
They thought the quarter was over. Great job by Riley Ferguson, Mike Norvell, and Sykes down the middle for a big one.
Yeah, with these offenses, why not squeeze out an extra play if you can? ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
There's Richie Grant right here. Watch this backfield action. He's going to come up with this fake. I don't know why he's coming up. There's 1 second left in the half. He doesn't need to come up. Now he's beat because he came up too soon. Richie Grant was the guy that forced the fumble last week that won the game against USF. But he also, at this secondary, gave up 503 yards passing to Quentin Flowers. It's been a reoccurring problem the last 2 weeks. They need to get it fixed.
Great field position now for Memphis. Inside the 15 is Patrick Taylor. He'll just stumble forward for a yard on the play. That 63-yard gain to Sean Dykes. Dykes has the second best receiving average per catch, but they don't go to him a lot. They went to him and caught everyone by surprise for 63 yards with zeros on the clock at the end of the first quarter. A first quarter that scored exactly 400 yards of total offense. Here's Ferguson to throw. Got a man. It's Tony Pollard. And it's a touchdown. That's how we open up quarter number 2.
Tony Pollard, we talked about him in the return game and special teams, but he's such a factor in the passing game as well. He's going to come out, just give a little move to Titus Davis, the outside linebacker out here. Make it look like I'm going to the flat, and then I've cut it up. That's great awareness. That's savvy from a receiver that's played a lot of football at Memphis.
Riley Patterson puts it through. Patterson, who has hit 50 extra points in a row, and it's a 17-14 game. Hey, you know, you look at Pollard's numbers, only got 28 catches on the season. For your most explosive guy, don't you want to get the ball into his hands more?
Something about a guy like Anthony Miller there, too.
What if he was bothered by the question? But always a good idea to get him the football. First down and 15 after the marker. Here's Milton to throw. Great pocket for him. And a beauty of the throw on the money to Cam Stewart. And just like that, out to the 45.
Great job of getting that ball out on time. So far today, we've seen that he's just been ready to throw the ball. And what a unique release he's got there, Grease.
Hey, it's effective. Doesn't matter what it looks like.
Going quick. Pitch to Killens. And he's stopped for a loss. Out of the 41, it's Jannard Avery, the quiet leader on that Memphis defense.
We were talking with McKenzie Milton yesterday and kind of asked him about his unique release. He doesn't extend that arm way up over his head. It's more towards his ear. And he said, you know, I played baseball as a catcher, and that's kind of how I threw when I was a catcher, and it just kind of translated to his motion. You see, he doesn't get over his head. The ball never gets over his helmet. Very unique, but he's accurate.
Milton, quick throw out of the flat to Snelson, and he's pushed out of bounds. Bring up a third down and short. Milton said his knees were bothering him in 8th grade already. That's what he said. Hey, you know what?
Stop playing catcher.
This football thing's not a terrible idea.
Well, maybe his best attribute are his legs. I mean, he extends plays so well. And you see his production on the season, setting school records at UCF.
Back in Orlando, 17-14. The stadium is filled up rather nicely here in Orlando. Some championship games. They play on a neutral site.
Back-to-back great environments and fan base here. Last week against USF was a big game, and again today.
They call this the bounce house. Here's McKenzie Milton. Got a man down the sideline. It's perfect. It's Traquan Smith, and it's another touchdown for UCF. On 3rd and 3, give him 6 points.
You got Killens and Anderson and all kinds of people making plays, but don't forget about Traquan Smith, and great recognition by McKenzie Milton, seeing man-to-man coverage, great route from Smith, and the anticipation again, that back-to-back touchdown throws from Milton, one to Akins and now to Smith, where the anticipation and the placement and accuracy was bar none perfect.
Spreading the wealth right is good on the extra point. McKenzie Milton now 10 for 11 for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns. In fact, we've had just one incomplete pass the entire game. UCF goes on and wins this game. There's your perfect season. A likely spot in the Peach Bowl to take out one of the big boys in that game and then get a whole lot of love from the country. Here's Darrell Henderson down the sideline, making people miss. Is he still in bounds? I think he is. There is a flag out of the 48-yard line. But what a return. Here's Darrell Henderson staying on his feet. Took a big hit right by the marker there from Shaquan Burkett. We talk about the delay of game. That's the play clock, and you really need to pull out. You see the whole picture. I mean, that's not an ideal spot. And Ferguson has now gotten delay of game staring at both end zones, so it's not just that one spot there.
First thing you do when you come out as a quarterback in pregame warm-ups, you find the play clock, and you know exactly where it is. You always have to keep that in the back of your mind.
Here's Henderson. Good first step. Puts his footstep in the ground and then takes off for the touchdown. Darrell Henderson exploding through, virtually untouched. And the Tigers benefit off the turnover.
Wow. That was way too easy for UCF defensively. That offensive line, we talked about it. That senior leadership up front, coming off the football. The momentum has certainly changed with a big turnover from Jannard Avery, and then this offensive line led by Gabe Kuhn, the right guard, handling him up front.
Patterson blasts it through. And it's a field goal game with 8:52 to play in the half. 24-21.
They had 4 guys coming back on the offensive line. Watch these guys reestablish the line of scrimmage. Kaiser, the center, Tate, the left tackle. You get 2 guys downfield blocking on the second level, and then Henderson with physical running. Ferguson tried to help him out there at the end, but Henderson came into this game, Steve. I had to check this and double check this. He averages over 9 yards a carry. That's unbelievable.
Give him the ball.
Wow.
Give him the football. Trey Neal had the opportunity to make the tackle there and could not bring him down. You cannot turn the football over and give either of these teams a short field. We've already seen evidence of that. Another short kick. This one out to the 22-yard line. Going quick here, pumps to the right, down the middle of the field, it's Snelson! And he is dropped from behind. What a tackle by T.J. Carter, saving 6 right there.
So impressed with McKenzie Milton, how quick his eyes work. Just watching from the end zone and coming in, how quickly he goes through his reads, and that allows him to be so accurate with the ball.
Gain of 23 on the play. Milton able to hook up.
You know what else, Todd? I think that's impressive right there was how fast that play came in from Scott Frost. You mentioned that he memorizes all the play calls the night before the game, and I asked him yesterday, why do you do that? He says, because that's the only way I can get the play in as fast as possible. They have a big third down conversion, and they come right back within 5 or 10 seconds with a pump screen and a seam down the middle of the field. It's really impressive.
He said he doesn't want to get caught looking down at his sheet. They're going to throw it. Here's Anderson, and it is intercepted, but out of bounds. There is a flag down as well. Josh Perry, like Superman, leaped out of bounds to intercept it, but he was clearly out of bounds.
I think they're going to get a late hit on Otis Anderson after he threw the ball.
It's a half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Terrible turn of events for Memphis here. You might lose Perry. Looks like he came down on that hip. Oh, man. If you've ever had a hip pointer, that is painful. And that looks like Josh Perry is going to be struggling to come back in this game. You know, when they played early in the year, Memphis was without 4 starters. And now it looks like they've lost 2 in one play.
On first down and 10. Anderson, not much there. Emmanuel Cooper made the tackle. McKenzie Milton to this point is 15 for 16 for 266 yards and 3 scores.
It's not terrible.
You think they wouldn't want anybody else to throw it. Got a little fancy, a little cutesy. A trick play. On second down and 10. Milton to throw. It's batted up in the air, and it is intercepted. Second turnover. It's Tito Wyndham able to wrestle it away. Dredrick Snelson was the intended target, and Wyndham wanted it more.
Well, McKenzie Milton wanted to go right after Josh Perry's replacement, Tyrese Lindsey. Here's Lindsey right here, and here's Snelson. They're going to come back in. This is the first throw, Steve, that I've seen inaccurate from McKenzie Milton. It's a little bit high, and because it's high and deflected, it led to the turnover. It's a good idea to target Tyrese Lindsey, and the replacement, just poor execution and late on that throw.
Second consecutive possession by UCF. They've turned it over. We know what Memphis did the last time they got a turnover. Difference here is they got the long field in front of them. They'll start from their own 3. Ferguson to throw. And complete to Anthony Miller.
They got to get number 3 going. He only had 1 catch before this drive started in the game. It's such a factor, and if they're going to play man-to-man coverage, they can get him matched up on Clark, the corner position. It's a good place for Ferguson to go with the football.
Anthony Miller, the first receiver in Memphis history with consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Handoff is Patrick Taylor. And he's out to the 20-yard line. Riley Ferguson is 7 for 7 passing, so he too has been rather efficient.
Pretty good quarterback play. We knew these 2 quarterbacks are 2 of the stars in the American Conference, and it's a big reason why their 2 teams are in this championship game. And it's a battle going back and forth right now.
Number 14 in the country against number 20 in the country. Conference championship And a likely berth from the Peach Bowl on the line here today. Here's Taylor. Carrying some people. He's got the first down, and then it'll be thrown back. So they mark the forward progress out to the 30-yard line. Kyle Gibson made the stop.
Look at these two quarterbacks, and they have different styles. Riley Ferguson's got a big arm, does most of his damage through the air, but McKenzie Milton more of an efficient passer. I hate
yes,
the moniker of a game manager.
Yes.
So I never used that, right?
Yes.
But that's what they asked him to do, and he's made Memphis pay.
Here's Tony Pollard.
Pass is gone to the far side by Tony Pollard.
Bring up a second and short. See if you get a look at Riley Ferguson and all his tattoos. He's got so many of them. Got his first tattoo at the age of 15. And you get a look. Got plenty more real estate there to go if he wants.
Yeah.
Ferguson to throw. Down the field, wide open is Anthony Miller. Trying to beat two guys down the sideline and angles in for the touchdown.
That's number 3, Anthony Miller.
Anthony Miller wanted it all.
68 yards for the Tigers.
68-yard touchdown.
We talked about running the football, get you man coverage in the secondary, and they get him matched up on Neville Clark. And look, a great move. It's the sluggo, the slant and go. Great feet, eyes, and awareness from Anthony Miller. He's so good in transition and knows how to finish.
A 14-point swing in 5 plays, and Memphis has their first lead of the afternoon. And it's a 4-point lead. And you could hear the microphones down on the field, someone on the Memphis sideline saying, we came to win.
Absolutely. These guys have come too far in this season. They have improved as the season has gone on. They got blown out 40-13 in the first matchup early in September. And they have confidence. They're scoring at a clip of 50-plus points a game in the last 7 games. And a lot of it has to do with the matchup, Riley Ferguson and Anthony Miller. These two guys are as good as it gets in college football. And they have struck up a relationship that's been one of the best in football the last 2 years.
Another short kick. Tristan Payton, one of the up backs, out to the 35. 4-point game. Memphis their first lead of the day, thanks to consecutive turnovers from UCF after scoring drives and getting points on their first 4 drives. Here's Milton to throw. Great pocket for him. Out ahead, able to get Traquan Smith. Went up to get it. There is a flag down. They're still wrestling for the football. Jonathan Cook was with him step for step.
They haven't signaled who caught that football. They're going to give it to Traquan Smith, it looks like.
Pass interference. Defense, number 14. Penalties declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Well, we're seeing 2 really good receivers play in this game, Anthony Miller and Traquan Smith. Smith's bigger receiver, 6'1", 210 pounds, and that's a textbook going up and high point in the football, taking it away from Jonathan Cook, and UCF's in business.
Here's Milton. Again, great protection. Now it breaks down and he'll scramble. McKenzie Milton, time for a cup of coffee and a touchdown pass. No! Cam Stewart was banged out of bounds by T.J. Carter.
I don't know. I think this is a great job by T.J. Carter. You said Stewart goes up in the air, and then Carter hits him and forces him out of bounds. There's Carter coming in, the first thing to hit. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't see the foot come down. You got a hand. No, the hand never touches. Oh boy.
That's simultaneous. One foot hitting out of bounds and one foot hitting inbounds. Second down and 10. Here's Otis Anderson. Trying to rip the ball out. 2 minutes, 35 seconds away from halftime. We ask you to stick around for the Capital One halftime report. Kevin Nagandi and his band of merry men keep you up to date, everything going on with college football on and off the field. It's been an insane, silly season with what's going on with coaches
Galloway
and athletic directors.
Galloway's not very merry. He's being liberal with that.
Here's 3rd and 8. And it is is dropped. Cam Stewart, there is a flag. TJ Carter.
Holding. Defense, number 2. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's Carter, the true freshman.
Wow, that's a third down. They think they're going to get off the field. This battle right there, you see him with his arms locked around. That's a good call, and Carter is a very, very promising true freshman. In fact, he's the rookie of the year in the American Conference, a very confident player, but doesn't have the experience. You get that arm locked around a receiver, and that's an easy call for the official.
So the best part of his game is ability to forget. See if they go back at him here on 1st and goal. Milton across his body and knocked away. Traquan Smith, the intended target. They went on the other side, the side where Tito Wyndham is playing.
Oh, there's been some close, another accurate ball there. Great job by Tito Wyndham. Just at the last second, getting that left hand in, forcing the incompletion, brings up 2nd down.
One local Orlando columnist wrote a story this week. He thinks Milton should be up for the Heisman, should be invited at least to New York. He's been outstanding here today.
Certainly has the numbers.
Over 750 yards of total offense and looking for more. That one is intercepted. It's Carter, and he'll run it out. The true freshman we just spoke about. Flagged for a penalty. He responds with an interception in the end zone.
Pass number 2, TJ Carter.
Boy, you got to give credit to this Memphis defense. They get a penalty on 3rd down, which extends the drive. Their backs against the wall. And this is the first time I've seen McKenzie Milton. I don't know who he's throwing this to here. It looks like he's throwing it to the tight end Akins. Just threw it too far out in front of him. He had one like this last week against USF that kind of looked bad. And Carter makes him pay.
So we should hold the Heisman talk then. And right now, maybe. 3rd straight turnover by this Knights offense. The last 2 coming in the red zone, Reese.
It's tight down there. You make a mistake and you miss a guy, you overthrow a guy, and it's not an incompletion. It's an interception because everybody is so tight.
Under 2 to play in the half. Ferguson on the move. And he'll throw, and the short gain to Anthony Miller. I understand that Isaac Bruce is in the house. Has all the records, or once had all the records, receiving records at Memphis, currently owned by Anthony Miller. But Miller was very pleased to say, I have Isaac, or Mr. Isaac, he calls him. I have his cell phone number. He was very proud of that. From one great Memphis wide receiver to another.
Greatest show on turf.
Good shot of Isaac on the sideline. In the last couple games in a row. Middle of the field. It's open. It's Sean Dykes again. Had a 63-yard gain earlier in the game. Dykes rips off another big one. And the Tigers, following another turnover, are marching down the field.
A reoccurring problem for UCF in the defensive secondary. Seam routes. Last week, Quentin Flowers threw for 500 yards through the air. And already in this game, Memphis has 250.
Here's Miller thinking about throwing it. Still thinking about it. Directing traffic. The wide receiver does throw it. And he'll throw it away. So Memphis getting fancy inside the red zone.
They're trying to set up the throw to the tight end. Here's the tight end. Watch Shaquan Burkett. Not fooled at all by this misdirection. He sees Magnifico come out, shows his discipline, and then runs with Magnifico. That's where Anthony Miller wanted to go. Good defense by UCF.
17 seconds left. Memphis has just one timeout left. So because of the penalty, Ferguson still hasn't officially missed. He's still 12 for 12. Off the play fake. Looking for a perfect half. Riley Ferguson throws back in the end zone. Off the hands of Sean Dykes.
And Neville Clark, who's been targeted most of this game because of the fact that he's playing in there for backup Brandon Moore, had a chance to seal the deal here in the first half. Could have intercepted that pass. Went right through his hands.
3rd and 10. 10 seconds left. 1 timeout left for Memphis. Up 4, gotta think. They'll take the 3 in their back pocket. But they want 7.
You better hurry up.
3 to snap it. On the ground, it's Patrick Taylor to the 9. And they'll spend the timeout there. 4th down upcoming.
Timeout. Memphis, their 3rd and final. 30 seconds.
Here's Patterson. Not from 52, it's only 27. With 5 ticks left. True freshman kicker on the way. And he's money. And that's how the first half will come to an end. And what a half it is. 17 unanswered points by Memphis to take a 31-24 lead to the half. We'll send you to the studio, the Capital One halftime report, right after these messages. Come on back. You're watching the 2017 American Athletic Conference Football Championship presented on ABC by K Jewelers. 31-24, Memphis. Onside kick coming out of the locker room. And let's see. Can't take your eyes off this game for one moment. The Knights have recovered the onside kick, and they will start with great field position on the plus side of the field.
Well, you got to think that Mike Norvell says, why not take a chance? You know, we're just blooping the punt down, the kick down here anyway every time because of the returner Hughes. We're only giving up 20 yards if we don't get it.
It's Marlon Williams who had to be ready for it, and he recovers the onside kick. Did you see Scott Frost with McShay at halftime? Woo. Icy cold.
Icy Frost.
We'll get into that in a second. And the first play from scrimmage. Quick throw out to Snelson, who played a big role in that first half. And he is, see, they give him the credit for the first down yardage. So we mentioned earlier Scott Frost and his lovely wife. They had a son recently, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks old, and he still does not have a name. They can't decide on the name. So they're throwing names around, and lots of examples. We'll give you one after this play. Off the play fake. Milton to throw. Now he'll get out of there. And look to take some people on and won't get back to the line of scrimmage. Sharif White made sure that. Well, one of the options was Isaiah Christian.
Love it. Icy Frost.
Right. They want the initials. They don't want penalties. No flag on the play. One of the assistants talking to us said he recommended Jack. Jack Frost, right?
You better be a really good athlete.
But, you know, people wait a day or two. I've heard of 3 days, 4 days, 3 weeks.
Oh, man.
It's an important decision.
Evidently. It's got a few of those coming up.
2nd and 11. On the ground of Killens. Staying on his feet. And he's very close to first down yardage. Bring up a 3rd down and 1.
All the momentum in this game at the end of the first half was with Memphis. The 3 consecutive turnovers they got and 17 unanswered. And now a chance for UCF right out of the locker room.
Quick throw out to Snelson. He's got the first down and he's looking for more. He's inside the 20-yard line. Tyrese Lindsey bumped him out.
But now they're getting into that red zone area, Leaves, and this has been their bugaboo in this game. 2 interceptions from McKenzie Milton inside the red zone. The game they played September 30th, you see the flip side happen. Memphis, 3 turnovers in the red zone. Big reason why they lost that game.
First down and 10. On the ground of Killens. Maybe got half a yard on the play. Look at a 2nd down and 9. Jonathan Wilson made the tackle. Former wrestling state champion.
We always talk about that, right? You love the fact that, you know, what are the keys to games? Turnovers in red zone. You make fun of it.
Right.
But it's playing out here right in front of us. Turnovers in red zone.
We can get off the field on 3rd down. Here's Milton right up the middle. Plenty of green. And he's got a touchdown. McKenzie Milton for the score. And we're an extra point away from a tie game. 16 yards right in your face.
We talked about the pressure that UCF's offense puts on defenses, and a lot of it is the speed horizontally. And then once you get out there, you have to account for Adrian Killens and Otis Anderson. Then if you get a quarterback that can run the football a la Marcus Mariota, right, and you get those numbers inside the box, then that's the advantage for the offense, and that's exactly what happened here. We only got 30 minutes left for the trophy, for the championship.
They're bouncing in the bounce house. At least the players are, anyway. Another short kick. Henderson will run over and grab it out of the 21-yard line. This is going exactly according to the script. Not necessarily the turnovers, but that we're tied at 31 in the early stages of the third quarter. On the ground of Darrell Henderson. He'll pick up 3. And some players come together, a little pushing and shoving. Again, you mentioned earlier, they prepared. I mean, there can't be opponents who are more familiar with each other in the entire country than these two because of the preparing to play each other 3 times. And there's the comparison from the first meetings from 2 months ago and today for the Memphis offense. Turnover is the big difference. Ferguson to throw. Got a man wide open. It's Sean Dykes. Dykes continues to rip off big plays, and he stumbles down inside the 25. Sean Dykes came into this game with just 11 catches on the season.
Watch the linebacker and the safety. They part ways, and that's what allows for the tight end, Sykes, to get down. You got to begin to make some adjustments. I get it that Anthony Miller, you want to roll over the top and double team him, but you can't leave the middle of the field wide open.
Miller's over 100 yards receiving. Here's Henderson trying to turn the corner. He's still on his feet, still no whistle. And this will be interesting to see where they mark the forward progress and bring up a 3rd down and goal.
And there's one thing I noticed early on here in terms of adjustments defensively, a little bit less aggressive. Probably won't be the case here in the red zone, but backing off in coverage, giving more cushion, backing off 2 safeties in a couple of plays. I think they were a little concerned about how many big plays they gave up in that first half.
It is 2nd and goal. Henderson is the single setback. 2 tight ends, Dykes and Magnifico. And they direct snap it to Henderson. He's going to flip it to Anthony Miller. He's going to throw, and it's incomplete. Looking to throw it back to the quarterback, Riley Ferguson.
He had him open. If he threw the ball to the outside, Ferguson would have had the touchdown. Shaquan Burkett with the hustle. There's Burkett. He's not fooled over here. He comes back and he finds Riley Ferguson. If that ball was thrown to the outside, it could have been a touchdown. Anthony Miller doesn't throw many footballs, though.
Shaquan Burkett had the coverage there. Miller's 0 for 3 passing today. Marty Aronoff says. Ferguson will check it down to Henderson, and it's incomplete. Incomplete. Brings up a 4th and goal. Miller has actually misfired on more throws than Ferguson has today. Did not expect to hear that or see that today. 4th down and goal.
Great stop by UCF defensively to force a field goal attempt here. And you got to think that as this game goes on into the second half, that a win for these defenses is just getting to force a field goal rather than giving up touchdowns.
Here's Riley Patterson from 22 yards away. On the way, and he splits the upright from the right hash. 10:21 to go. You're right. Just giving up 3 feels like a win. You're watching. Presented by K. Jewelers.
I can't surprise them with Christmas presents in there.
Like they're really watching. Again, another short kick. And that leads to good field position out to the 35. On 1st down and 10. There's Milton. Checks it down to Otis Anderson. He'll make some people miss. He's across midfield. Bring up a 2nd down and short. Otis Anderson, the first commit of the 2017 recruiting class, and a good one for Scott Frost, UCF.
The another issue that's starting to creep into this game is the conditioning of this front for Memphis. We're getting 0 pass rush right now on Milton.
2nd and 3. Milton able to get away from Jonathan Wilson and complete, and the second effort for a first down. Traquan Smith on the receiving end, and that has been so disheartening again for that defense.
We're seeing confident play here from Traquan Smith and from McKenzie Milton. No matter what happens on a play, even if a play breaks down, they feel like somehow, some way, they're going to make a play and they're going to ad-lib. And that confidence is tough to stop.
12 on that last play. In some trouble. And almost got away, and then he is brought down. O'Brien Goodson. You don't see a lot of true freshman nose tackles wearing the uniform number 1.
Well, we mentioned no pass rush, and all of a sudden, here comes O'Brien Goodson. Great hands there. He beats the center, Jordan Johnson, but even when you get back there, it's so slippery. It's hard to get Milton on the ground, but great effort from Goodson gets him down.
Milton rushing for 45 yards so far. And he'll throw the ball this time. It's Smith. Got it. Traquan Smith. Touchdown. Lead change. Knights back on top.
Milton, one of the best things he's done in this game, in my opinion, is identify matchups. He got his best player on a backup safety in Carlito Gonzalez, who's a true freshman on the outside, and there was no chance for Gonzalez to break up that touchdown pass. It's Milton's 4th touchdown pass today.
How great the city of Memphis getting behind their football Tigers, showing love to the university. So the Memphis Botanical Garden, the Big River Crossing, lit in Memphis blue. Graceland got into the act last night, lit in blue. And the mayor had a Liberty Bowl watch party. They're going on right now. We want to say hello to everyone watching in the Liberty Bowl. Of course, Memphis had their first ever undefeated season in the Liberty Bowl this year. Perfect at home again. Their only 1 loss coming in Orlando. We got a deep kick to the end zone. They're going to give it to Tony Pollard. It's Pollard still on his feet. Out to the 33. And they might not try that again on 1st and 10. Play fake. Ferguson to throw. And zipped it in there, that Anthony Miller. Ferguson wanted to throw it. Instead, he's dumped. Sacked by Joey Connors.
We haven't seen many negative yardage plays for either one of these offenses, but this time Connors, as you mentioned, just comes inside. That's poor technique by that right tackle, and that's an easy sack for Connors.
Connors has just 1 sack on the season coming in. It came against Temple. That's a sack in a big spot. How about 3rd and 16? From just across midfield. Ferguson trying to set up the screen. Back to the line of scrimmage was Taylor. 4th down. We haven't seen a whole lot of punting. We'll see one here.
This half could not have started any better for UCF. They come out in the first drive. They get a short field on the fake onside, and they score a touchdown. They go up in this game, and now their defense starting to make some adjustments at half. Coming out, getting after the quarterback and covering down in the secondary, and they get a big stop.
So Smith is standing at his 34. Mike Hughes. Smith was spilled after he released. Fair catch is called for by Hughes. I do not see a flag. It's a 37-yard punt. It's been some great defense in a game with lots of offense. You're watching the 2017 American Athletic Conference Football Championship on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers. People are excited about it. Adrian Killins Killens with an exciting play coming out of the break. He's run down by Curtis Akins. Big plays everywhere you look up and down the field today.
When Adrian Killens had the longest run in the American Conference this year a week ago. Sorry, against Memphis the first time they played. He's got that speed, and he gets to the second level, and it's game-changing.
Good for 23 there. Killens had a season-high 5 catches also against Memphis earlier in the season, that matchup on September the 30th.
Yeah, coaches said that was the area of his game that he improved the most, was catching the ball in the backfield. If he can add that to his repertoire, it'd be really dangerous.
Here's a chance. Milton finds a man with a seam. Michael Kumbiali able to make his first grab. His 10th catch of the season. Kumbiali makes the catch.
You notice all these big plays come in the middle of the field because you have to respect the perimeter game of Killens and Anderson, and then those safeties lose sight of the seam.
And that's good for 32. Here's Killens. And O'Brien Goodson makes the stop, and you could see the Memphis defense was not ready there. They were not set.
Well, they lost their starter in Josh Perry at safety in the first half, and he was replaced by Tyrese Lindsey, who's been beat a couple of times in this game. And you see Adrian Killens go in motion, and there's nothing you can do. You have to respect that perimeter game and his speed, and then they insert Magnifico right up the seam.
Tim Hart was ejected for targeting. That's played a role as well. Here's McKenzie Milton on the run and throwing, and it's caught! Frederick Snelson for the touchdown. There is a flag down. What a pitch and catch if it stands.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. Penalty is declined. Result of the play. It's a touchdown.
Yeah, it's declined. UCF up 10. 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon for McKenzie Milton. So following 3 consecutive turnovers by UCF, the Knights have come back with 3 consecutive touchdowns. Extra point on the way, and it's perfect. How about 45 to 34? Why wouldn't it be?
UCF got away with one here. I think the left tackle, Aaron Evans, could have easily been called with a hold. There he is up here in the street. Tackles a defender. Nonetheless, McKenzie Milton extends the play again. This time it's Snelson. It's been Traquan Smith early in this game. And UCF is opening up a can right now.
Just what the doctor ordered. 45-34. Central Florida. We've got a 4th quarter play here. Hope you guys weren't going anywhere. Hard to take your eyes off this game. People are still buzzing about the UCF-USF game from 1 week ago, played right here. Here's Darrell Henderson on another short kick. Henderson able to make it out to the 30-yard line. 24 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter in Orlando. Temperatures into the low 80s. Ferguson to throw to Anthony Miller, making some people miss, and then tiptoeing down the sideline.
Boy, you come up and press Anthony Miller, and he beats you on a slant and go for a touchdown. Then you tell your corner, play off of him, let him catch the underneath stuff, and then he makes you miss. You can't get him on the ground. That's his 8th catch of the day. You see his average. I mean, this is one of the best players in all of college football. It's a crime that Anthony Miller wasn't a finalist for the Biletnikoff Award.
He took that personally, too. 2 seconds, 1, see if they get another playoff. And no, not that time. Did not.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
That marks the end of the 3rd quarter. How about 45 to 34 with 15 more minutes left to play? ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. UCF, the Knights, trying to complete the perfect season. Win a conference championship and the likely birth to the Peach Bowl. The turnaround is remarkable under Scott Frost, who many wonder, is he coaching his final game at UCF here today? And if so, his final fourth quarter. Here's Riley Ferguson. Comes out throwing. Down to Henderson. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
He might be coaching his final game at UCF, and the same might be said for Mike Norvell. He coached at the Memphis Tigers. Excellent two-year run here with the Tigers. 10-1 this year. They have improved immensely, and it's been a lot of people thinking that he might be up for one of these jobs. The Arkansas job is open. Tennessee in his home state, potentially.
Really? Tennessee job's open? I hadn't heard.
Still.
2nd and 13. Here's Ferguson taking a shot up top, and it is knocked away. Anthony Miller had it, and then he didn't. Trey Neal is talking the whole way along with the Bill clock.
Neal does a great job there of reading the quarterback's eyes and getting over in time. Then when he gets there, locating the ball and timing his jump. He got there at the perfect time. No interference. Knocked that ball loose.
Big time opportunity here. Let's see what UCF does. Do they bring pressure on 3rd and long and try to get after Riley Ferguson?
They lost 3 on 1st down. Here's 3rd and 13. They're rushing 4. And they're going to get to Ferguson. He is dropped.
Shaquem Griffin came up
Always. Like a speeding bullet.
He just continues to amaze. One hand or not, take a look at this spin move. They said that he didn't start to learn pass rush moves until this season. You know, he was a backup safety under George O'Leary, buried on the depth chart. A year ago, he started to make an impact on this defense. This year, he's really realized his true potential as a pass rusher.
Loss of 8. Griffin's 2nd sack today. Here's a 46-yard field goal attempt for Riley Patterson. On the way, and it is no good. Patterson, whose career long is 42, misses. And the score remains 45-34. This vaunted Tigers offense still manages 3 points here in the 2nd half. And that is one of the issues for the American Athletic Conference, right? You get these young coaches who build and turn around programs, and then the big boys want to swoop in and steal them away from you. How do the group of 5, how are they able to keep their coaches?
Yeah, we talked with the commissioner of the American Conference, Mike Oresco, yesterday, and you know, it's their hope. You see Milton here, another downfield pass.
And that is caught. Marlon Williams, true freshman, his first catch today.
But just to finish that point, Mike Oresco, he wants to move towards a power 6, right? That's what he wants. He wants the American to continue to grow with programs like Memphis, like UCF, like Naval Academy and others in Houston.
Here's Otis Anderson on the ground.
But it's going to take him a while to get there. And the big thing is money, right? And the money comes from the TV contracts. That's coming up in the next couple of years. So for them to compete, the salaries of these coaches, they've got to have that money, that revenue. And this is a conference on the up and up. I truly believe that. And these teams can really, they can compete with most anybody, definitely anybody outside the top 4 or 5, I think, this year in college football.
Otis Anderson has 100 yards rushing on the ground. On 2nd down and 1. There's the first down. It's Anderson again. At one point, they had 3 teams ranked in the top 25. Maybe even a 4th at one point this season. So I think these are eye-opening games for a lot of people. Last week's game here against USF, and certainly this championship game here today.
Well, and the committee who has put Stanford and Washington ahead of UCF in the past week blames the defense. And certainly UCF's defense has not had their best game today. They've been exposed for 533 yards, but that's the bugaboo with them. And You see this. This is the comparison. You look at Oklahoma.
Yeah, you do.
UCF is ahead of them defensively.
Look, a lot of it is schedule. The American Conference can't hide behind that. UCF has played the 90th toughest schedule in the country. 90th.
And again, I go back. They didn't get a chance to play Georgia Tech, which is a quality team. That would have really helped them.
McKenzie Milton 9 for 9 here in the second half. He'll hand it off. Adrian Killings.
I'll tell you two things that kind of stand out. First of all, the quarterback play in this conference has been outstanding. The other thing is, if you're a coach making tough decisions of whether to stay or go, and you look around the country, especially the SEC, there's another 5 coaches turnover. It seems like every year it's 3, 4, 5 coaches are being turned over. There's something really nice about being able to build in a conference like this. So
that's a great point, Ty. Yeah, great point. And I think that's the reason why UCF has a realistic shot of keeping Scott Frost.
Here's Milton throwing for it, and it's lost. Cam Stewart was there. Good coverage by Jacoby Francis. And again, I think he's looking directly back into the sun, Grease.
Yeah, no, you're right. This is as tough as it gets. We're going to see here, see the shadows.
I'm staring into it right now. It's blinding.
Another great throw there from McKenzie Milton. And you got the sense Memphis had to get that stop, right? To keep this a 2-score game. If they make this, it'll be a 14-point game. But if they went down 3 scores, it's almost insurmountable.
Here's Matthew Wright from 31 yards away. And Wright is perfect. Make it 4 consecutive possessions for UCF with a score. That followed the 3 consecutive turnovers. 48-34, under 10 to play. Oh, they're bouncing now. Bouncing now with under 10 to play. Perfect season, conference championship, and a likely berth in the Peach Bowl, all on the line for UCF. Up by 14 now. Tony Pollard out to the 30. 9 conference championship games going on. 7 are rematches. Including that one and this one. And here's Anthony Miller. I mentioned we were in break. The chance. Take a listen. Second down and 6 on the ground. Here's Pollard making people miss, staying in bounds. Tony Pollard. One of the easiest touchdowns he'll ever score. How about 66 yards for the touchdown? And things just got a lot closer and a lot quieter.
Wow. You talk about the utility of Tony Pollard in the return game, catching the ball out of the backfield, and now get him run the ball. Look at the block right on the outside by Taylor. Great block to kick out. That's just poor tackling there. Trey Neal with an opportunity to get him on the ground. And much like a punt return or a kickoff return, he knows how to get to the end zone.
I got one word for you, Grease. Over. Extra point is through. Sure. How about 89 points so far in the game? Still 9 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Don't go anywhere. Championship is on the line. So we travel with, I don't know, a couple thousand people every Thursday, hang out every Saturday on a college campus, and we can't name them all by name, but there they are. We'll circle our fearless leader there. There's the big Hoff right there. You know, I'm kind of proud of myself. I have 2 Hoffmans in my phone.
Yeah.
One is Trevor, the Hall of Fame flamethrowing closer of the Padres.
Never get those 2 mixed
and
up.
I have not once tweeted Trevor when I've meant to text to Josh there. So I'm proud of myself.
Thank you to those guys.
Yes.
They make us look and sound great, as good as possible. Thank you.
So you took it back from great to as good as possible.
Let's not go crazy.
Mike Hughes on the return. Quick throw by Milton. Able to complete to Snelson. Jonathan Cook on the coverage.
You got to love how he didn't even think about it, too. Didn't flinch.
Well, he did have that extended period, right, with the official got hurt to think about it.
That's a good point.
You know, he probably, had a chance there to say, hey, if we don't get this, we're going to go for it on 4th down, and he was ready.
2nd down and 6. They're not using all the play clock, though. Had 19 on it. Milton to throw. Snelson trying to receive. Lassoed down by Tito Wyndham.
So many times down the field in this game, it's been completions to Snelson. We've had touchdowns to Smith, and Wyndham just got enough of Snelson there to force the incompletion.
Again, they snapped that with 19 on the play clock, Reese.
They don't know how to take time off the play clock. That's just not in their DNA. But going back to that decision to go for it on 4th and 1 inside of your 40-yard line, I think he knows that his defense has given up so many plays and so many points in this game, and if he punted it there in only a 7-point game, the likelihood of him getting it back, unlikely.
Here's Milton in some trouble. He'll throw it away. Nearly intercepted. Jonathan Cook jumped the route on Otis Anderson and nearly picked it off.
Jonathan Cook, the former transfer from Alabama, he kind of got his life straight. He's been the leader in this secondary with an opportunity to make a play right there to slam the door on this drive, and he dropped it.
The senior last week had his first career touchdown on a 22-yard pick six. Here's the first punt of the game by UCF. Mac Loudermilk, bit of a showman, hasn't been able to show off anything.
Didn't show off a great punt either.
There won't be any celebrating there. 6:51 to play here in the 4th. It's a 7-point game. UCF on top, looking for the perfect season. Ferguson throwing to Tony Pollard. The big collision as he's dropped down. Across midfield, here come the Tigers.
Very similar play that he scored the touchdown on. He gets matched up on Titus Davis, the outside linebacker. And you can't ask Davis from that outside linebacker position to play the run and to guard down the field on Tony Pollard.
Gain of 29. On the ground, here's Patrick Taylor. Has the first down. Some more championship effort right there. We spill under 6.5 to play.
Boy, this UCF defense in the second half has been up to the challenge, particularly in the red zone where they force field goals and they've got stops. Do they have one more in them?
On 1st down and 10. Quick throw to Anthony Miller.
Oh my God. Did you see that catch?
He's got good hands.
Look at this catch. That is outstanding. That's a lot of hours on the Jugs machine right there.
I was going to say, Jugs gun can't fire it out any faster than that. 10 catches for him. 144 yards. 2nd down and 8. Ferguson to throw for Taylor. And he's got the first down. That will stop the clock as they move the sticks.
From Memphis right here, I'm thinking about taking a shot. Love that. Taking a shot from this red zone fringe area, right? Because it gets so difficult to throw the ball the further you get down in there. Why not take a shot man-to-man right now in the slot with Anthony Miller?
From the 17. Ferguson hands it off to Taylor. A mouthpiece comes flying as Taylor is dropped. And the clock will wind.
Memphis not in a hurry here.
Taylor's over 100 yards rushing now. On the ground at Taylor. He's dropped exactly at the 10-yard line.
Last couple of plays have been run-pass options. The RPOs from Mike Norvell. And Riley Ferguson has decided to hand it off. That last time I felt like Anthony Miller ran a slant route and was open for the touchdown. I would come right back to it and allow Riley Ferguson. They can run the ball here and still get a first down, and if they don't get it, they'll still go for it on fourth down.
Got 3 timeouts. So a lot of time left. 4:25 to play. Down 1 score.
Got man-to-man up top with Miller.
Ferguson to throw. That way, and it's Anthony Miller. Did he hang on? He did. Touchdown. Anthony Miller.
You had the best player for Memphis against the best player for UCF. Hughes at the corner, where his coach said he's confident in guarding anybody in the country man-to-man. This is just great football. He's in position. The ball is thrown perfectly, and there's not many receivers better than Anthony Miller going up in tight windows and bringing down a touchdown.
Here now, the all-important extra point. Riley Patterson has missed just 1 on the season. The snap and the place, perfect. 4 minutes, 13 seconds left. We are tied at 48.
You're not done with these touchdown calls, partner.
Memphis, 2 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes, 49 seconds. This will not be the final score. It was only 1 week ago. Mike Hughes, with 1:28 left against USF, ripped off a 95-yard kick return for a touchdown. And UCF would not trail again in that wild finish. The war on I-4, and Mike Hughes is back. Is there any chance they kick it to him? In the air. Out to the 20-yard line. It's not Hughes. It is Tristan Payton. Out to the 33-yard line. Nobody's counting out McKenzie Milton. Good pocket from Milton. And now he'll just airmail one and throw it away. With 21 seconds remaining, the Knights are really hurt because they only have 1 timeout left.
If I'm McKenzie Milton, I'm finding Traquan Smith. He's my biggest receiver, and when he's matched up in this secondary against Memphis, he has won all day long. Just throw the ball up and give him an opportunity.
Matthew Wright's career-long field goal is 50. Hit a 47-yarder this season. Milton to throw. Middle of the field, it's intercepted. It's Jonathan Cook. And 14 seconds left, and Memphis will take over. 3rd interception thrown by Milton.
Trying to make a play and trying to force the ball in the middle of the field to Akins, the tight end. You're gonna watch it. This ball's just overthrown. Akins is covered well. That's double coverage, and that's the risk you take. And McKenzie Milton is very fortunate that Jonathan Cook was down on the ground, because if he had kept his feet, he had about 30 yards to run back. He could have got in field goal range on his own.
Of course, in college, you don't have to be touched. And again, Memphis has 3 timeouts remaining. There's only 14 seconds left. Just so much you can do, even with 3 timeouts. But wow, what a ball game. What a finish either way.
We talked about nerves, right? Championship games, nerves become a factor. And certainly that looked like a nervous throw from McKenzie Milton.
Here's Ferguson trying to step up. He's grabbed from behind and thrown down. Titus Davis got him. 5 seconds left. And Memphis with all 3 timeouts.
End of regulation. Media timeout.
With all 3 timeouts, Memphis will take it home with them. And will go to overtime in the American Athletic Conference Championship game.
Boy, give Titus Davis credit. He gave up the play that allowed Memphis to get down in field goal range. He didn't go in the tank, continue to fight. Comes up with a big sack. Force overtime.
Free championship football in your immediate future from Orlando. UCF seeking their 3rd American Athletic Conference Championship title. Memphis playing in their first ever championship game.
You get in these situations, I always feel like the advantage goes to the team that can run the ball better, because it's a red zone overtime, right? And Memphis has run the ball really well in this ball game.
1st down and 10. at the 30. Ferguson going to keep it. He's got first down yardage. Riley Ferguson.
He'll keep it every now and then, Steve. Not very often, but when he does, it's normally big gainers. And great play call from Mike Norvell. Been really impressed with how he's called this football game. He knows this guy's got a little nerves in him. Run the football.
Out of the 15. Ferguson to throw. Good time. Man wide open for the touchdown. Who else? Anthony Miller. And the Tigers draw first blood in overtime.
Ferguson. Touchdown, Memphis.
They've thrown the ball on the wheel route opposite of Anthony Miller so many times today. That safety, it was Kyle Gibson, went for the head fake from Ferguson and is wide open for the touchdown.
Extra point is on the way and good. You saw 3 Knight defenders all looking around at each other, palms in the air.
Well, they've had breakdowns the past couple of weeks, UCF has, in the defensive backfield. We talked about it in the first half. They made some adjustments in the second half. 500 yards to Quentin Flowers last week. A big game here to Riley Ferguson. And of all the people not to leave open in the end zone, you'd think they'd cover Anthony Miller.
Miller, 13 catches, 178 yards, and 3 scores today. And he might not be done. Let's see what McKenzie Milton can do. His opportunity with the ball. It's a touchdown or this game is over. Milton on the ground, laterals it back to Otis Anderson. We saw them try that earlier for similar success. Tyrese Lindsey forces him out.
Milton makes some of the most unbelievable plays on his options. He loves to fake pump and keep it to the last minute. He took a wallop, but got that ball to Anderson for bring up a second and short.
Dangerous, dangerous. Second down and 1. Give it to Killens. He has first down yardage. Remove the sticks. Again, for UCF on this drive, it is touchdown or bust. And every play could be Scott Frost's last here in Orlando. Milton lofts one. And a penalty marker comes down.
They're going to get Austin Hall. He pushed Anderson. Anderson was going to come wide open for the touchdown. Hall knew he was beat. Probably a smart play by
Pass
him.
interference. Defense, number 15. Spot foul. Automatic. First down.
There's Austin Hall. He knows right now he knows he's beat. Smart, because look at that ball. That would have been a touchdown.
It's a good play. Here we go. Adrian Killens is tripped up. Down to 2. Lindsey got enough to knock him down.
22 of the Tigers. 3-yard gain.
This is the area of the field where they like to bring in Cordarian Richardson, who's a bigger back and short yardage, but this is not their specialty.
Second down and goal.
I think they'll give one more chance here to Killens. If he doesn't get it in, they might bring in the big personnel.
3 receivers top of your screen. Milton is going to pitch to Killens. Turns the corner, gets there. Touchdown.
So fast. And when you put him on the edge with Milton in the option, with only one guy left in Austin Hall, it's almost impossible to stop to the pylon.
The all-important extra point now.
Yeah, these aren't guarantees.
For Matthew Wright. He's missed just 1 point after touchdown all season. Snap and place perfect. And so too is the PAT. Couple of double nickels on the scoreboard in the American Athletic Conference Championship game from Orlando. Let's keep playing. Second overtime is on the way. Back in Orlando, getting ready for the second overtime period, and amongst reports, multiple reports, now saying that Scott Frost will be named the next head coach at the University of Nebraska. First reported by our own Brett McMurphy. And that's coming out right now.
Certainly didn't seem to have a decision made last night, and he's been coaching a game here for a while, so I'm not sure where that came from.
Here's Milton. The throw, and able to complete to Marlon Williams for the short game.
They're going to get a late hit. Personal foul on top of it, Steve.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 15. After this is the goal. Automatic first down.
That's Christian Johnson, the 14th penalty on Memphis. Critical.
The penalties are killer in overtime. There's so little yardage here, and boy, I don't know. That could have gone either way. I don't think that was that late of a hit.
So from the 10 now. Milton fakes the option. He'll keep it himself. McKenzie Milton bangs down to the 2. TJ Carter, the first Tiger to get to him.
What a tough dude. 5'11", 185 pounds. He just throws his body around all game long.
And he is so laid back. You meet him in person. He is so even keeled.
It's Hawaii.
You got the 808, the top of his face mask. You can see it there.
And he got roughed up there at the bottom of the pile. You saw when he got up, his helmet was, he looked like he was looking out of his ear hole.
On the ground, Otis Anderson trying to find the second hole there. There's the indication for the touchdown. Otis Anderson gets there, barely. Knights back on top in the second overtime.
Anderson goes a whopping 164 pounds, so I don't know why anybody would question whether he had the strength to get in here. But the second effort, as you said, great job, great awareness. Inside, there's nowhere to go. Don't give up on the play.
Matthew Wright is all right. Let's split the uprights. 62-55. A top 20 showdown for the American Championship. For UCF, a perfect season on the line. Maybe the last handful of plays for their head coach, Scott Frost, here in Orlando. And the likely trip to the Peach Bowl to play with the big boys in a New Year's Six bowl game.
Now Riley Ferguson's chance as this stadium comes alive. Scott Frost said last week against USF that he saw the potential of what Orlando and what this program UCF could be. This crowd is giving it to him.
From the 25, Ferguson on the ground, and Patrick Taylor. Any kind of turnover in this ball game is over. It's touchdown or bust for Memphis.
The other thing going against Riley Ferguson here is he's looking right into that sun. As that sun gets lower and lower, it's more and more difficult for him to see receivers downfield.
See the reflection off the visor. Maybe better him than the wide receiver looking into the sun. Here's Ferguson. Steps up and underthrew Tony Pollard. Ball might have slipped out of his hands. Bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Guys, if UCF has to go back on the field offensively, McKenzie Milton is getting worked on right now. His right shoulder. Backup Noah Vedral is also loosening up to get ready to go in if he has to.
Third and 7.
Anthony Miller. Find Anthony Miller.
That's what Ferguson was thinking, and it's off the fingertips of Darrell Henderson. 4th down, and there was a player injured. Roger Joseph, the right tackle, is down.
He got the matchup he wanted. He had Henderson on the linebacker. Burkett just out of reach for Henderson. He's going to line up in the slot, and he's lined up across from redshirt sophomore Devell Clark.
Back up right tackle. Patrick Taylor's the single setback. Need to get to the 15. 4th and 7. Here's your ball game. Here's your championship. Ferguson throws and completes. What a catch.
Kid's a warrior, man.
Everybody on the planet knew Anthony Miller would be the intended target. It doesn't matter. He makes the play. And he's slow to get up.
Well, they didn't triple cover him. They didn't double cover him. They played man-to-man, and they left Clark one-on-one. And they had a safety over the top, but it was still man underneath. And anytime you get Miller in man-to-man coverage, he's going to make you pay.
17 yards there for Miller, his 14th catch. They got the big defensive lineman, Joseph Dorcius, in as a blocking fullback in front of Patrick Taylor now. We saw this earlier in the game. 1st and goal from the 5. Here's Taylor. Tried to foul a block and could not. He's stopped by Jemias Pittman. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, give Jemias Pittman credit. I think they knew they were going to run the football. When Miller went out and they brought in the big personnel, they knew it was the run game. And it was a nice job by Pittman shooting the gap. But here comes Anthony Miller back in the game.
So the big fella, Dorcius, comes out. Loss of 4 on the play. Miller's in. Here's 2nd down and goal. From the 9. Need it all. Need a touchdown to keep the game going. Ferguson. Pressure. Thrown. Intercepted. It's intercepted. And that's your ball game. Trey Neal on the pick. The Knights of UCF are the American Athletic Conference champions. Their perfect season remains intact. Likely bid for the Peach Bowl as Scott Frost runs towards the tunnel. We'll see if Todd McShay can stop him. What an emotional scene on the field here. What a ball game. Down to time with maybe the most important interview of the day.
You're the man. Good luck, man.
Scott, I mean, so many ups and downs, back and forth. 0-12 2 years ago to winning the championship. What are you feeling right now, man?
I don't know what to feel. I'm so happy for these guys. That's impossible what they've done, and I'm glad I could help them do it. We've given them a lot. They've given us even more.
See, obviously very emotional right now. What are you thinking?
I want to go celebrate with my team.
Okay, one question before you go. There are multiple reports, and I hate to ask, but multiple reports that you've accepted the Nebraska job. Can you tell me anything about that?
I'm going to go celebrate with my team.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
And I think that tells the story right there. The answer without answering.
So much love and respect between Scott Frost and these players. They love him, and he loves them, and it's genuine. And he is torn up about this decision, but what a way to finish it in a championship game. And the last play of the game in overtime, double overtime, to get Shaquem Griffin, right, who's been through so much. 5 years here, an 0-12 season, coming back to 12-0. Shaquem Griffin off the edge, forces the early throw, which ends up being the interception. And look at the emotion on Griffin. Unbelievable way to end for UCF.
2 years ago, this squad was 0-12, and there were crickets in the stands, and now you look at the place. Amazing. 12-0, the perfect season, win the conference championship, and a likely bid to the Peach Bowl. You've just watched the highest scoring conference championship title game in history. Tune into ABC tonight at 8 Eastern for the ACC Championship. It's Clemson and Miami. 62-55 in double overtime. UCF